Hello everybody, today I'm doing a video here with the legendary Mintrorr. Her username is spelled Mintrorr. She is very much known in the Lost Ark community for her striker play. Who is she? She is someone that really showcased her skills by doing raid content with Zeals, ATK, Benji, with those guys, and was taking MVP Cruel Fighter off of those guys on this Giga Chad striker. And because of that, she became the most searched striker on loawa, on the loawa website, the site that everyone's checking stats and stuff for. So today I have an opportunity to talk to her about how she plays striker and put together a little striker guide for you guys. And we're going to cover all things. This is for people that are thinking about playing striker that have no idea how the striker class works. I will, of course, have follow-up and personal guides on it as well later, but I wanted to make this more about, number one, an introduction to striker, and number two, how she plays it specifically and what the talk is about striker currently in Korea. Because we hear a lot of stuff about striker scaling, being OP, being this and that, and we're going to get to hear it from someone who does have a close to min-maxed striker that's clearly doing a lot of damage and taking MVPs from people left and right? So, with that said, Mint, thank you so much for joining me. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Hello, everyone. Hello, guys.
How is striker right now? Your opinion. Is it as strong as people say? Is it too strong? Is it in a good spot? What do you think? 어때요?
Striker is so strong, but 단점이 있다.
Okay.
단점이 있는,
A
I
weakness?
think, weakness, good. I think good balance.
It's good balanced. Okay.
Yes,
So
it's
fairly
good
balanced.
balance.
Okay. So a lot of people are saying that it's doing really high damage and needs to be nerfed. But there is balance to it. What would you say is that balance?
I will show you the skill cycles. So you just see that what is weakness at the striker. I will show you about the striker cycle. In 스킬 사이클 안에
네.
왜 밸런스가 좋은지가 들어가 있어요.
Okay, got it. So she's going to show us and explain to us why she thinks it's balanced, because that balance comes from the actual skill cycle. And when we go over the skill cycle, you guys will be able to see it. Let's talk about Deathblow Striker, because that is what you are maining. There is a 2-spender build and there is a 3-spender build. You are running the 3-spender build right now. Can you tell us a little bit about the two spender build and the 3-spender build?
투 스킬 쓰면은 이제 폭세진이 빠지고 방청격이라는 게 들어옵니다.
네.
이게 달라요. 352와 252.
So difference between the 2-spender build and a 3-spender build, when we're just talking about the skills in itself, is blast formation versus halberd kick. Those would be the two skills that are interchanged.
일단 252 스킬 알려드릴게요.
네.
252 스킬은 특성을 이제 211을 찍고요.
For a 2-spender build with halberd kick, we're going to be going with the 211 tripods.
그리고 보여드리면 this is one cycle.
That's one cycle.
Yes.
Okay.
이게 and different things.
Now we're going to go over the 3-spender cycle.
Yes.
And there's the 3-spender cycle. I'm asking her, can you tell us a little bit about the comparison between the 2-spender and 3-spender?
일단 2-spender use this skill,
네.
and 특성이 달라요.
The stat points are a little bit different.
Stat point
네.
little bit different. Use that.
Okay. For the 2-spender, 1600 into specialty, 800 into spec.
Yes. just 특화를 1,500만 넘기면 돼요. 투스펜더는.
Okay, two spender. As long as you have 1500 specialty, you're good. She's saying.
하고 이제 이 두 오이는요.
네.
좀 산책 시간이 좀 여유로워요. 보시면은 use the two spender and last skill and you can cool time. You
네.
have the cool time and
네.
walking around walking around and one more the spec
Uh-huh.
and striker have 하나의 이동기가 있는데
네.
하나 이동기가 있는데 이동기를 자유롭게 쓸 수 있는 장점이 있어요. 이 오이는.
So there's more cushion, guys, is what she's saying. There's more cushion for the two spender build. A lot more forgiveness there. Once you go through your rotation, you're gonna have that cushion period where you can just kind of wait for your cooldowns. You also have the luxury of moving around using your Storm Dragon Awakening rather than having to land it on the target.
그래서 한마디로 이제 백을 잡는 데는 이제 좀 더 침착하게 좀
네.
초보자들이 쓰기에도 괜찮고 이게
네.
좀 괜찮아요. 근데 이제 352
네.
use the 3
It's a little bit easier to play, especially for beginners. It's easier to hit the back and position yourself on the backside.
그리고 자 352 스킬은 최소 특성 특화를 1700은 가져야 돼요.
You need to have at least 1700 spec for a triple spender build. She's got 1787, 606 there. 네.
스킬을 쓰면은 좀 달라요. 이 운용각을
네.
이동기로 쓸 수가 없어요.
You cannot use Cloud Dragon Awakening there for movement. You need to land it to build meter.
그래가지고 이거를 계속 굴려야 되기 때문에 스트라이커는 알다시피 신속이 없거든요.
네.
신속이 없고 이동기도 없기 때문에 스페로만 이동을 다니고 피명기가 없어요. 슈퍼 아머가 없죠.
네.
그렇기 때문에 굉장히 좀 하드하다. 플레이하기 하드하다.
So the triple spender build is a little bit more difficult to play. It's a lot more difficult to play because number one, you can't burn your skills on movements. You need to land all the skills for meter generating skills, and you're not a swiftness based class, so you're a little bit slower. You're not going to be able to move around. You only have your space bar to actually move for your mobility. So it's a lot more dangerous. You lose the protection from the space bar by consuming your space bar if you're using it to move offensively. So it's a lot more of a punishing class to play compared to the others.
보여주고 싶은 게 있는데
네, she wants to show us something.
스트라이커가 백어택을 왜 쳐야 되는지 제가 백을 쳤을 때랑 옆구리를 쳤을 때랑 내구격 데미지 차이를 좀 보여드릴게요.
네, she's going to show us the damage difference now between a back attack with Tiger Strike and a non-back attack with Tiger Strike. It's got 121 mil. $50 mil. 48 mil.
Yes.
Big difference.
Yes.
Big difference, guys. Really big difference.
이게 바로 제가 얘기했던 굿 밸런스라는 거예요.
That's exactly, and she's saying that this is exactly why she thinks Striker is balanced. Which, by the way, I'm trying my best to not put my personal input in this, but if there's one thing that I'm going to put my opinion on, it would be that I'm 100% in agreement with this very point. A lot of people see these flashy numbers in Striker. Striker's Tiger Strike is not a multi-hit skill, so you see all the damage in one giant number. And a lot of people think it's OP, but as you can see, if you miss that back, and that's a very big indicator. If any of you guys have played back attacking classes, especially on certain bosses, you know how difficult it is. It's actually, it's like almost impossible to have every single Tiger Strike land on the back. This is just the way Lost Ark is. If you don't land on the back, as you can see, there's a huge damage drop with that number.
Yes, I'm agree.
Okay.
I think
네.
버블을 3개 쳤을 때랑 버블 4개 찼을 때의 데미지도 보여드릴게요.
네. So she's gonna show us. 잠시만요. So she's gonna show
네.
us the damage difference between having 3 bubbles and 4 bubbles now too, and this is in response to me saying and actually adding on to the whole balance issue with Striker. I told her that I also tell my viewers that another balancing point with Striker is that not only do you have to obviously hit the back to get maximum damage out of your spender skills, but also you are very much punished and your damage and you can lose a lot of damage as a striker by also missing your builder skills. So the other skills that aren't spenders, right? The skills that give you meter. If you're missing those skills, and as you guys know, with the way the Legion raids are and the way raids are just in general in Lost Ark, it's absolutely possible to miss the builder skills. And if you miss those builder skills, you will lose out on a lot of damage. And she's also going to show us the difference between 3 bubbles and 4 bubbles, the damage difference. 보여주세요.
네. 네.
So there's 96 mil there. 121 mil before, by the way.
Oh.
That one didn't crit. Another indicator, if it doesn't crit, you can see.
Yes.
So 77 mil, right?
Yes.
And also if it doesn't crit,
음.
that's another balancing point there too. Okay, so that was a 50 mil. That was about a 20 to 50 mil difference. 그죠? 한
네.
네,
20%.
20%. About 20.
네.
About 20% is what she's saying.
이게 지금
네.
카드가 이래서 35% 되는데 제가 체감 한 20% 정도 차이가 나는 것 같아요.
So I was asking her, wouldn't it be a 35% damage difference because one bubble is 35%? But she's saying just from her, like, from her experience, it feels more like a 25%.
25.
About 25% is what she's saying. Okay, great. So now we've talked about the 2 spender versus 3 spender. We've also talked about pretty much the pros and cons. I mean, you guys obviously, the pro obviously to this is big damage, right? That's pretty much how it's going. So let's talk about your build. Okay, so she's running level 3 Grudge, level 3 Keen Blunt, level 3 Cursed Doll, level 3 Ambush Master, and level 3 Deathblow with level 2 on Adrenaline.
3, 4개일 때는 일격필살을 우선순위로 하세요. 이게 가장 세요. 무조건 얘는 3를 맥스를 찍는 게 가장 좋아요.
Always
Max
on Deathblow. Yep.
Yeah, and this one.
Grudge level 3.
Yes.
Okay.
And this one.
Ambush level 3. Yeah.
가장 중요한 각인 순서대로 해요.
Yeah. She's going in order of importance, by the way. So obviously the class is the most important. Then second most important is Grudge. Third is Ambush. 네.
이렇게 세 번째로 중요하고 그리고 네 번째가 예둔입니다.
Fourth most important is Keen Blunt. 네.
And 요즘에는 3, 5위는요.
네.
3, 5위는 아드 3을 가도 돼요.
So a 3 spender Deathblow build, you can go Adrenaline 3 as the 5th engraving. 네.
그리고 이거 혹은 저밭을 가도 됩니다.
Or Cursed Doll as the level 3 engraving. 네. Okay.
그렇게 하고 이제 5개에다가 1 각인. You use the 1 adrenaline.
You can either go Adrenaline 1 as your 6th level 1 engraving. 네.
Or 1 이거에다가
Or Cursed Doll.
3. Yes.
Or Cursed Doll 1 and level 3 Adrenaline.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Guys, just so you know, the value in Adrenaline, obviously you get attack power, but it's also that crit rate that you get. 그 Adrenaline, and I'm going to let her explain that.
아까도 보셨다시피 스트라이커는 치명이 터지냐 안 터지냐가 차이가 5분의 1이 나요. 아까 크리가 안 떴을 때는 2천만이 나왔죠.
네.
근데 크리가 터지면은 거의 1억이 나와요.
네. So, as you guys saw earlier when we were comparing the damage, there's a huge damage difference between a crit and a non-crit. Massive. This is the reason why Adrenaline 3 has a lot of value. You get that extra crit rate. It's really, really important for that Death Strike, or excuse me, Tiger Strike to crit. It's extremely important. On that note, I see someone in chat asking about spirit absorption. Spirit absorption is also very viable because it allows you're going to be pretty much sacrificing your damage for positioning, for better positioning. I'm going to let her explain in her own words, though. Those are mine.
이거 좋아요.
네.
이것도 괜찮아요. 이게
아드레날린 대신. 네.
이게 좋은 이유는 스트라이커는 백에다가 뇌우격을 박아야 아까 스킬이 세지죠?
네.
그거를 백에다가 이거를 끼므로써 백어택 적중률이 내가 높아진다.
네.
그러면은 이거를 써도 괜찮습니다.
Exactly what I just said, guys. This helps you hit that back a little bit better because you get that speed. And as you guys know, Striker's damage is subject to two main variables, which is crit and hitting that butthole. Right? Yes. Okay, so we've got the Kagi, we've got the explanation on the engravings. Let's talk about the stat requirements and the engraving requirements. Okay, so we hear a lot about lower level strikers trying to go Deathblow in the West. Can you tell us about what is the minimum requirement when it comes to your specs with everything, your stat points, your tripods, your everything? What is the bare minimum requirement to run Deathblow Striker effectively?
스트라이커는 엔트로피가 나오기 전까지
네.
굉장히 약합니다.
Mint is saying until the full entropy also set, 맞죠?
Yes.
Until the Earth's entropy 6 set is available, Striker is extremely weak.
Yes.
I've been saying this so many times on my stream. Thank you, Mint. 네.
그리고 이제 특화를
네.
최소 1,500은 맞춰야 돼요. You use the spec.
네.
스펙을 1,500은 맞춰야 돼요.
And you have to have 1,500 spec. And again, like we mentioned before, that is going to be for a 2-spender build. 네.
그리고 이제 스트라이커는 이제 팔찌가 이제 쿠쿠세이튼
네.
이후에 이제 팔찌가 나오면 그때부터 데미지가 쑥 하고 더 올라갑니다.
Okay, so once the bracelet comes out for Striker, that's when Striker takes it up another notch and the damage just goes really, really high.
이 오일을 쓰는 거를 좀 추천하고 싶어요.
Okay, so in our current version, without the bracelet and without Earth Entropy, she's really recommending a two-spender build.
특화를 1,700 이상으로 땡겨 오셔야지 쓸 수가 있어요. 좀 쾌적하게.
네.
룬은
네.
풍요룬이 스트라이커한테는 필수예요. Strike는 is a rare rune.
네.
Blue, two blue.
네.
Use the two blue and yellow one and a purple one. 네, 하나만 있어도 돼. 이거는
오케이.
있으면 쓰는 거고 없어도 돼요.
네.
필요하진 않아요.
네. So she's saying that you need to have at least 2 blue wealth runes, 1 purple wealth rune, and 1 legendary wealth rune. That's what you need, okay? You need that plus 1,700 spec plus level 5 tripods to effectively run a 3-spender build. So is it hard to build? Yes. Obviously, it's going to take a lot more investment in order to play a 3-spender build, which is why she's highly recommending a 2-spender build until you get to that point.
그리고 트라이포드.
네.
그 252 트라이포드 굉장히 쉽게 하는 방법이 있거든요.
She's saying there's a very easy way, effective way to set your tripod.
보시면은 장비가 총 6부위가 있죠.
네.
그 가장 중요한 5의 스킬.
네.
호황하고 내우격만 쓰잖아요.
네.
이것도 트라이포드가 6개예요.
네.
그러니까 이 트라이포드 한 부위를 여기다 4짜리를 하나하나 부위를 사가지고 그대로 전승을 받으시면 2개의 스킬은 꽉 트라이포드를 풀로 할 수 있고 나머지는 그렇게 중요하진 않거든요. 꼭 타레벨을 붙여야 하진 않거든요. 이 버블 모아주는 스킬들은. 그러니까 나머지는 나중에 천천히 해도 되고 급한 사람만 이렇게 도시락으로 하면은 굉장히 싸게 할 수 있어요. 4레벨을 안 붙여도 되는 애들 3레벨 붙여도 충분해요.
She's saying that it's okay to have level 4s on your meter generating skills and she's talking about the tripods here, and a good way to effectively build your tripods is that you prioritize your tripods from your Tiger Emerges and Tiger Strike, which is her R and F skill right now, which is a total of 6 tripods. You transfer the level 4 tripods for each of those skills to each piece, because there's 6 pieces of gear that you could transfer it on. So those are 4 guaranteed max level 5 tripods that you can have on your gear, and you can just slowly put in the rest of your tripods as you go. So and I asked her about the meter generating tripods on her Flash Kick and Lightning Whisper, which is her Q and S, as well as her A, and she's saying that those tripods you can have at level 4, and that would be totally fine. You could slowly work towards that, which, by the way, it's going to get a lot easier. It's going to get a lot easier once the new tripod system comes in.
스트라이커는
네.
3열 세트가 나오기 전에는
네.
진짜 5티어.
5티어?
네. 5티어고
5티어는
3열
이제 0? 완전 쓰레기?
완전 바닥. 완전 쓰레기. 가족 사진에도 안 들어갈 거예요. MVP도 못 먹어요.
So she's saying,
네.
if we're talking about the progression of a striker, especially in our region where you're not endgame yet. So listen up, Striker fans. She's saying before the entropy set, Striker is garbanzo tier, trash tier, 0 tier, and she even went as far as to say that you're not, fuck MVP, you're not going to even be in the family photo tier.
Yes.
Okay? Not even
don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't
okay?
give up on Striker.
Yes.
Okay? So, 네. Okay, entropy set가 나오고 난 뒤에는
그때는 정말 얘가 왜 3열의 왕인지 알 수 있죠.
Once the entropy 6-piece set comes out, you will realize why they are the kings of entropy. Okay, 그러면 만약에 A, B, C, D, A는 제일 세고 D는 완전 쓰레기고. Okay, if we're going off of A, B, C, and D tier, okay, it's D tier before entropy. Entropy 나오고 팔찌 전은 무슨 tier? A, B, C, D에서. What tier?
I think B.
So after entropy, she's saying Striker will maybe go into a B tier after entropy, before bracelet, and then after bracelet, 팔찌 나오고 난 뒤에는 A
tier.
A tier becomes A
Yes.
tier. Okay, so
Yes.
why is the bracelet? Because every class is going to have a bracelet. So when every class gets stronger, why is it that Striker gets that much more stronger with the bracelet compared to other classes?
이 특화를 보시면 압니다.
네. If you, the
특화에
answer lies in the specialty stat. 네.
특화에 일단 특화가 팔찌로 인해서 100이 증가함으로써 버블 수급량이 쾌적해지죠.
네.
그리고 우리의 주력기 스킬까지 더 세집니다.
네.
그리고 2-5위에서 3-5위로 또 넘어갈 수가 있어요.
네.
그래서 나의 주력기가 하나가 더 늘어나는 거죠. 팔찌가 나온다고 해서 주력기가 하나가 더 늘어나는 캐릭터는 아마 없을 거예요.
알겠습니다. So the Striker on this right here, we're getting an extra 113 specialty, 63 crit, 3% back attack damage, 3,675 strength, and 2,800 vitality. Okay, so the reason why having this bracelet really bumps Striker up more so than other classes is because the bracelet is really what effectively allows you to play a 3-spender Striker, and there's no other class in the game that is able to have that type of impact by equipping a bracelet, right? Like, obviously, you just look at the numbers, you're like, oh, what is an extra 113 specialty going to give me? Well, equipping the bracelet allows the Striker to have enough stat points and to have the build to be able to effectively play a 3-spender build. And the difference in damage between a 2-spender and a 3-spender when played effectively is very significant. So that's the reason why you can just think of it like this. Pre-entropy trash tier, after entropy with the 2-spender, we're B tier. Then once that bracelet comes out and you're playing 3-spender comfortably, then we're that top tier Giga Chad class. So it's going to take a lot of investment, practice, and time, guys. So she's going to show us the damage and why Blast Formation is so much damage right here. Because really this is what separates that, right? Okay.
자.
So we got blast formation there coming in at 65 million damage pre-tick. Post-tick, we've got 70 million damage. 70 million damage there on an 80% crit rate net.
잠깐만요. 내가 카드 좀 바꾸고
네.
할게요.
Just gonna switch her cards again.
아, 카드도 보여줘야 되는데 세월하게.
네, 이따가 카드
네네.
네.
잠시만요.
All right, here we go. So after card set, 75% crit rate, 77 million damage.
Yes, 이거 보세요. 그러고
Okay, no crit there.
얘 눈 터졌다. 잠깐만요. 너무 약한데요. 잠깐만요.
Okay.
9,800만.
98 million. I want you guys to note this real quick. Notice the difference even on the crits. You guys notice the damage difference even on the crits? Okay. The big numbers that you see, the 200 mil damage crit and all that shit. This is why I'm always talking about this, right? It's you're not doing that every 16 seconds. Okay, you're literally we're on this target right here, and we saw 3 completely different numbers with our crits, right?
그러니까 내오격이 9,800만인데 얘
네.
폭세진이 7,700만이나 나오잖아요.
So we're looking at a damage difference of like we're looking at like 98 mil on that last hit of Tiger Strike with a 77 mil. 75 mil damage on blast formation. That's a lot of damage coming from this single skill that you're able to equip post bracelet with triple spender. Okay?
그래서 스트라이커가 왜 팔찌까지 나오면 더 세지는지 알 수 있겠죠.
All right. So we talked about the engravings. We talked about the stats.
치명은 600은 돼야 되지 않을까.
Okay,
팔찌하고 그러니까 우리 아가 스트라이커는 팔찌 나오기 전에는 500.
Yeah. Before bracelet, 500 crit.
이 오이는 반지 하나 크리
네.
하나 주고 나머지 목걸이도 크리하고 스펙으로 주고
네.
나머지 스펙으로 주는 비율도 좋아요.
So if we're talking about the actual stat points here with 2 spender builds, she's recommending necklace being spec crit and then a single ring being crit and then the rest being specialty. As you guys know, we mentioned we want 1500 spec with the 2 spender. And we need that extra crit because you guys can see how reliant our damage is, striker damage is off of the crit. So the stat points in the build is a little bit different with a 2 spender versus 3 spender. 네.
이렇게 아가들은 이렇게 해도 돼요. 아드레날린이라는 각인까지는 아직 안 낄 거 아니에요.
많이 안 끼면
네, 안 끼기도 하고 해가지고 최소 스펙은 이렇게 맞추는 게 좀
So
좋아요.
if you're not running adrenaline, she's recommending 600. She's running 600 pre-bracelet. She's calling that the baby striker. The baby striker is going to be going 1500 spec, 600 crit. Okay, without adrenaline 3. Adrenaline 3가 있으면 그러면 이제 그 반지는 그냥 특화를 해도 되죠.
네, 해도 돼요.
If you guys are running level 3 adrenaline, then it's okay to just go. It's okay to not use the crit on your ring. Okay, on that ring. Okay, great, fantastic. Let's quickly go over the skill build and the tripods. 그냥 이거는 빨리 넘어가도 돼요. 일단 지금 민트님 빌드 스킬하고 트라이포드를 다 보여주실래요? Okay, so. She is running Sky Shattering Blow, Tendon to Sky Shattering 333. Okay, 그 월섬각. Moon Flash Kick is 312. Okay, with the tripods leveled that. You guys can see that. She's got Violent Tiger here. I believe it's called Violent Tiger. She's got the legendary rune on Violent Tiger. 10 points into that, going 3-1-1. As far as Violent Tiger, the reason why, by the way, just those tripods, it's because it's a huge meter generator, FYI. This is a big meter generating skill. These are the tripods that you want to be running. Don't be swayed by the, crit damage buff and all that stuff you get. This skill is purely for the purpose of generating meter. You want this on a nice low cooldown so you can rotate and build that meter very quickly. You build a lot of meter. It's a 2-part hit. You build a lot of meter with that 2-part hit. Now, 다음 스킬 보여주세요. 그 이 스킬. 네.
이거 격호각에
네네네.
이거를 이제 보통 이제 무력이 부족하다.
네네네.
그럼 이걸로 보통 가져가요.
If you guys are lacking stagger, you could also go the second tripod on Violent Tiger as well. Okay, great. Now the E skill right here. Most of us in NA, if you don't have these skill points here, you do not have to go 10 points into Storm Dragon Awakening. You could just go 4, and that will go into your level 1. Lightning Whisper, we're going 3-1-1. Okay, pretty self-explanatory there. Next one, Tiger Emerges, we're going 3-2-2. Again, pretty self-explanatory if you read the tripods. Next one, Blast Formation here. If you are running 3-spender, we're going 1-3-3. Does the most damage, pretty much. Okay, and the last one, we've got Tiger Strike going 2-1-1. 12 points going into Tiger Emerges, Blast Formation, and Tiger Strike. If you guys do run 2-spender and you're running Halberd Kick here, the tripods to go is 2-1-1.
나 이거 하나 알려주고 싶다.
네네네.
이게 자 R하고 F 그 스킬을 쓸 때 중요한 점은
네.
가장 이제 중요한 게 내오격이죠.
네.
그리고 호황 출연을 백에다가 넣는 꿀팁이 있어요.
네네. She's got a nice tip to put Tiger Emerges in the back to be able to hit in the back. 네.
보스가 이렇게 엉덩이가 벽에 붙어 있는 경우가 있어요.
네.
그럼 보통 어떤 식으로
If the boss has his back to the wall, that shit happens all the time. 네.
이거를 옆으로 비껴치기 해도 백으로 다 들어가죠.
If you do it to his side like she just did, then it'll still register as a as a back attack. Just like that. Okay. 네.
백에 들어가집니다. 벽에 엉덩이가 없어도
네.
파고들 수가 있어요. 벽에 막혀 있어도.
Even if she's on the backside like that, even if the boss is on the backside, if you do it the way she just did it, you can go through and hit and get to that backside and get that back attack frame. 민트님은 어떤 식으로 공격을 하고 어떤 식으로 등을 맞추려고 해요? I'm asking her, what is her way of getting to the back? Because there's obviously a lot of players that try to hit the back on every single skill. And while, of course, when have damage in a vacuum, that is the most amount of damage because everything but Lightning Whisper is a back attack for Striker. It's like in a real world situation that might not be efficient because the boss is always moving around. And I'm asking her, what's her way of really making sure her Tiger Emerges and Tiger Strike lands on the back? 네, 말씀해 주실래요?
자, 이렇게 보스 헤드에서 조우를 딱 한다고 칠게요.
네.
그러면은
If you're engaging from the front, 네.
이렇게.
Okay. You guys see that? So if you're engaging, if you're in a situation where you're engaging from the front, she engaged, used her Cloud Dragon 3 kick to get to the side, and then hit him from the back.
그리고 이렇게 멀리 떨어져 있을 때.
네. When you're kind of at range here. 네. Opening with that type of opener there. Okay.
이거를 월삼각을 활용해. 보통은 백에 멀리 떨어져 있으면은 스페로 들어가려고 하잖아. 스페이스로 엉덩이 들어가려고 자리를 잡잖아요.
네네네네.
이거를 월삼각으로 자리를 이렇게.
Okay. She's saying a lot of people when they're at the backside, a lot of strikers will use their space to close the distance. She's saying to use your flash kick to engage and start the combo like that. Let's talk about the cards before we get into the rotation. Just tell us about the card set that we've got. 네.
자, 이거는 이제 보통 많이 쓰는 세구빛.
Okay, this is the standard card set that most DPS use.
이거를 그러면 한 사이클을 한번 불려볼게요.
알겠습니다. So she's going to show us one cycle with this card set. Okay, that is 268 million damage. Now this set right here is what a lot of people call the Striker card set. This is going to be giving us back attack damage, and it's going to be also giving us an 8-second big damage buff window. 24% damage buff window on a 32-second cooldown. So we need to make sure we proc that card buff. So we're just going to wait till we could proc that card buff. There it is. Tiger Strike didn't crit. Yeah, you see, guys, hold on, time out. Let me actually make a point of this. Do you see how a lot of our damage is subject to certain things? You guys can see that now, right? Okay. Let's try that again. We're waiting for that card proc. There it is.
몇 나왔죠? 처음 거가?
The first one 이게 덜 나왔어요.
지금 덜 나왔어요.
네, but like you said, exactly, there's a 30 million difference on Tiger Strike. Yeah, 60% crit rate. Here we go. No crit again. Let's finish.
기상. 왜 그러냐고.
Guys, I really hope that this is actually a great representation of the inconsistency in damage. Please, please, please do not think that strikers are getting those big, massive crits every 16 seconds off cooldown. You guys are literally seeing this right now. If there's anything I'm exposing with this, that's what it is. There you go. The card. So like, there you go. So guys, do you guys still think Striker needs a nerf? Come on, man.
Emergency. 비상.
Please do not nerf Strikers. What I'm saying exactly.
이래도 스트라이커가 사기야?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what she just said. Do you still think Striker's like OP? That's what I'm saying. Not to mention the back attack variable with this. Oh my gosh. Not to mention the back attack variable. Guys, we've been doing this, like she hasn't, like we've been doing this 2 minutes now. It hasn't, no. Yeah, man.
아니, 이래도 스트라이커가 사기야? 아니야.
Yeah, exactly, right? She keeps saying that.
됐다.
Oh, there we go. All right, the damage. 70, that's a similar crit percentage. 295 mil on a 70% crit. That's pretty similar. So we got about 10 to 15 million more damage from that rotation. Obviously subject to RNG. Okay, so she did get the card proc. Oh, and she got the crit. Okay, so this is going to be another good parse. Maximum damage here. Excuse me. We're at about a 70% crit. And that's going to be 268 mil. Okay, 한 번만 더 해보실래요? Yeah, her uppercut
안
only crit
터졌을
once.
때를 보고 싶은 거구나.
그냥 평균을 보기 위해서. Okay, that didn't crit, and the card came out late and after Tiger Strike. She did get the Tiger Emergence crit right here. A lot of crits post, 71%, a lot of, okay. 70% crit rate there, and the damage is 195 mil. Let's go test. Let's look at the other card set here. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit more consistent damage. We did get the crit here.
뜨냐 안 뜨냐에 따라서 많이 다르긴 하네.
Yeah, it's all about that crit, boys. As you can see, this one, 71% crit, so the crit rate's roughly the same, 70% crit. 255 mil damage. So they're very comparable. This is going to be a lot more consistent though, because obviously there's no way you can control that crit buff, that buff happening. But the uptime on the buff with the other card set is pretty good. Let's go over your rotation. 사이클 보여주실래요?
아, 네.
Triple spender cycle. Let's see it. 천천히 한번 해볼게요. So we're going to go over this in slow-mo since we saw it in real time. So one skill at a time. So, okay, first one we're opening with Sky Shattering Blow. Okay. Okay, next skill we've got Lightning Whisper. Lightning Whisper into Tiger Strike. Okay, we've got that 6-second buff. That's one set. Okay. Second set, we go into Violent Tiger, into Moonflash Kick, into Tiger Emerges. That's going to give us enough meter. Boom. By the way, if you don't have enough meter, if your Violent Tiger and Moonflash Kick is not generating enough meter to fill up all 4 orbs to go into Tiger Emerges, that is one of the reasons why. That is one of the main reasons why we're saying that this is a end game build. Like you don't have what's required to play Deathblow effectively at that point. Okay, so now we go into the third set, which is Storm Dragon Awakening into Sky Shattering Blow. It's going to be coming off cooldown. Back into Violent Tiger. Okay, here we go. We're going to see how much meter that generates. And you're going to see it has just a little bit of a sliver. 다시 한번 보여주실래요? 천천히. 그 마지막 게이지 채울 때 전. So you're going to see she's going to have just a little bit of meter left. Right here. You see how that 4th orb isn't filled? She's going to weave in a very quick auto attack. Left mouse button click here. 쳐보세요. Bam. That's going to fill it up. And then she goes straight into that. Now, her accessories and her spec is not maxed out. If her spec is a little bit higher, then she might not need to do that. Might not. She definitely won't need to do that, right? Because she's building a little bit more. So at her spec right now with her whole setup, she is required to have that extra auto attack. You have to wait for Blast Formation cooldown, and she's going to show us here, 보여주세요. Because the cooldown on Blast Formation for it to come back up is quite long anyway. So having that extra, like now, like we're here, right? Now we've got that Blast Formation. You see that Blast Formation on cooldown. Everything else is kind of back up. She's going through her second cycle here. Boom. Into Sky Shattering, Violent Tiger. And you can see that she had to wait that extra couple of seconds for it anyways, though, right? So it's not the biggest deal. And that's with level 10 cooldown gem is what she was, the point that she was making. And plus that auto attack weave, guys, it's really quick anyway. Our auto attack is really fast. Perfect. Now let's go over the last section, which will be the 2-spender rotation. 혹시 2-spender OS 스킬 2개 있을 때 그거 보여줄 수 있어요?
네. OS 스킬은 조금 많이 여유롭죠?
All right. So we're going to see a big difference in the rotation here. A big reason why I like the 3-spender, just the playstyle wise, is because the rotation and cycle feels a lot more fluid. What you're going to see here with the 2-spender, you're going to see a lot more, you're going to see downtime is what you're going to see. But that downtime is not bad because keep in mind that downtime allows you to do mechs because chances are you're not going to be cycling nonstop. You will never be cycling nonstop in an actual real-time fight. Go ahead and show us. 네, 보여주세요.
계속 놀 거예요, 이렇게.
And keeps going. Okay. 네, 계속 보여주세요. Boom. Notice how she still burned skills. Okay, she had full meter. She still continued Sky Shattering Blow into Whisper of Lightning. Just because you're at full meter doesn't mean you cannot be using any more meter generating skills, versus that being a little bit more min-max requirement for a 3-spender build. With a 2-spender build, you have a lot more cushion to work with, so it's okay to go over the limit and not be as efficient with your meter generating because you've got a lot of abilities to meter generate. It's important to maintain that adrenaline stack that you see. It's also important to really make sure you get that Lightning Whisper before your Tiger Strike. 네, 말씀하세요.
이게 포인트가 이거 2호이는
네.
사이클이 정해져 있지가 않아요.
네네.
그러니까 3호이는 아까 그 사이클대로 레이드를 뛰어야 정말 잘 굴리는 거거든요.
네, 네.
근데 얘는 좀 자유롭고 사이클이
네.
포인트는 궁, 번, 방청격에다가 내오격에다가 격포각에다가 호황까지 같이 넣는 게 포인트예요.
Okay. So, she's saying that the 3-spender build, that cycle that we saw is very important. Even in Rage, you're always trying to use that cycle over and over again. With the 2-spender build, there is no true cycle. It's a lot more flexible. You have a lot more flexibility with what you're doing. However, there is one goal with what you're trying to do with your rotation, and that's the rotation she just showed us. And I'll have her show us that one more time in real time and in slow-mo, like piece by piece. Okay, 한 번만 다시 그 포인트를 다시 보여주세요. 안 끊어서 그냥 바로. Here it is in real time. 2-spender point.
이게 지금 제가 방청객 특포가 안 찍혀 있어서 좀 늦게 나가요.
오케이. 그 트라이포드. 네, 오케이. 트라이포드가 없어서.
트라이포더가 없어가지고 좀 그런데
Okay.
중, 번, 방청격, 내오격.
Okay, so it's Sky Shattering Blow into Whisper of Lightning. And then Whisper, and then it goes, now during the 6-second frame, you need to get Halberd Kick, followed by Tiger Strike, followed by Violent Tiger, followed by Tiger Emerges. And you're going to see on our screen right now, she's not getting the full duration of Tiger Strike, or excuse me, Tiger Emerges off in that Lightning Whisper buff frame. And the reason why is because she doesn't have the tripods on her Halberd Kick and her other skills right now that allows her to execute the combo a little bit faster. When properly spec'd, you will be able to get that full duration off during that frame, during that window, that Lightning Whisper. TLDR, it is Sky Shattering, Whisper, okay, and then you're going to get Halberd Kick in there. You're going to follow that up with Tiger Strike. You're going to follow that up with your Violent Tiger. Then you're going to follow that up with your Flash Kick, which is your second meter generating skill. That'll give you full meter to use your Tiger Emerges. And then that is your rotation. That's what you're trying to get in. And then everything else is pretty much just flex, guys. Everything else is just pretty much flex. Okay, so I've asked her if she could just do a solo Guardian for us, so we can kind of see how she's moving around and doing mechs.
워로드 블레이드 있으면은 엄청 빅 데미지 볼 수 있는데. 비상.
Man, that is so annoying, especially doing it solo, where the boss is always trying to face her. Ooh, big crit there. There we go.
그건 어떻게 해? 횟수는 알려줘야 되나? 어, 아이고야. 비상, 불바다. 오바야. 아니, 걔, 오바야. 아, 오바야. 아, 짜증나. 오바야. 아, 짜증나.
She's annoyed. Welcome to
아,
welcome to the life of Striker. I feel like that's a better representation of what the Striker life is.
아니,
아주 잘
이동기가,
보여줬어요. 아주 잘
이동기도
보여줬어.
없고, 느려 터져가지고는,
Right?
있어봐.
그래서 이게 너프 필요하다고? 말도 안
어,
돼. 이거 말도
이동기도
안 돼.
없고,
Yeah. See? Listen, you gotta play Striker to understand why we don't need a nerf. We need a buff. We need a buff. Big damage there. 119. Landed it. Keep it like... Look how difficult it is for her to actually land her full cycle effectively.
진짜로.
Spirit absorption users, this is where like the whole ring around the rosy here, that's where spirit absorption would help with that, right? There's obviously a lot of running around there to get to the backside. Nice little back attack there to the side. Large hitbox from Tiger emerges.
무력 어떻게 하냐? 하고, 파괴하고, 오케이. 와, 씨, 백이 없어.
That monkey just... He knows Mint is going for the back. He's just hugging that wall. 알고 있어요. 똥구멍 차려고.
아,
일부러 했대.
아, 진짜.
So you guys can see obviously you know, not the easiest to land this cycle. You know, builder skills missing, spender skills missing. That's a big one. It's good counter. Getting into that rotation cycle. Well done. That was a nice clean cycle there.
Good.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Very nice. 후반에 좀 잘 들어가더라고요. 그죠?
일부러 좀 스킬을
네.
파괴 폭탄을 못 두고 가서
네네네.
여기에 파괴 스킬을 번속하고 내오격에 있어요.
네네네네네.
네, 그래서 번속하고 내오격을 좀 아껴 써야 됐어요. 파괴 시키려면.
So she
어.
wasn't able to go through her like ideal
음.
rotation here because of the destruction check, which comes from her, lightning whisper and tiger strike. So she wasn't able to just cycle in a min maxing type of way. She had to save those skills for those phases of the fight. Striker synergy is a crit debuff on target. Okay, here we go.
어디 갔어, 3번. 와로드. 와로드. 오케이.
Oh, this is a lot easier to the backside with that warlord in there.
오케이. 스택 다 쌓았고. 뭐야. 무력이 왜 안 돼? 봤어요? 저기요?
네?
봤어요?
어떤가요?
4억 2천 나온 거 봤어요?
저 4억 422.
아니.
Sorry. 저 다 보고
아.
있어요. 방송하고 있어요.
뭐? 아니. 비상. 아니.
It's a very short frame, guys. Reading chat.
우리 파괴도 안 되는데? 얘들아? 파괴 어떻게 된 거야? 이럴 때,
Okay.
오케이. 좋아요.
All right, guys. That's it. That's it. That will conclude the Striker video.
그래요.
All right. Well, Mint, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me here and doing this video, doing this guide video for Striker. I think a lot of us have a much better idea on where Striker is going to be, where it's at currently right now. Got a lot of stuff debunked. Got a lot of stuff revealed. And I think it was just a great overall video. A lot of people have been wondering how you're playing your Striker, and we've got that answer today. And hopefully for you baby Makoko Strikers out there that are thinking about playing Striker, hopefully this answers all your questions. But Mint, thank you so much. Guys, check out her links in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching it on Twitch, I've already linked it in my chat. Sub to her channel, please. 네.
우리 베이비 스트라이커
네.
이제 3열 세트 엔트로피 세트가 becoming then you strong then strong then and don't give up striker. Okay. After entropy of a king. Okay, you will be king. Okay.
I don't have to translate that. You guys know exactly what she means. Mint, thank you so much. 고마워요. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
네,
감사합니다. Thank you.
네, thank you.
Thank you.
That's gonna do it, guys. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of the video, thoughts on Striker, and let me know what classes you want me to cover next. I believe Bard and Destroyer. I've got my candidates picked out for those two classes, and I'm looking to do one for every single class. So, like and subscribe if you want more Lost Ark content, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.